Is this pretty much what you thought you'd be in this defense this season, or have you even sort of exceeded your own expectations so far?
And to me, there's still a ton to work on. I don't think I've played my best yet. Getting the 2 wins is huge. I mean, I'm not really a big stats guy. Win or lose, it doesn't really matter how many tackles I have or whatever. You can always do better. That's just kind of how I see it. There's still a ton to improve on.
Sounds like what your position coach said last week. I think when we talked to him, he said Quintin Wirginis hasn't arrived just yet. What are those things that you need to do better and that you can improve on?
It's just little details. When you get into the game, not trying to do too much and just doing, trusting the rest of the defense and getting my job done.
You think you would have been this good last year, or has that year away sort of helped you and maybe even made you better as a fifth-year guy?
It's hard to tell. I've asked myself that question, but I can say that the year last year was huge for me, and I've said before, just in growth physically and mentally and spiritually, in so many aspects of my life. It was huge for me, so it's hard to say, but I'd say it's likely that it helped.
Would you say that 3 games into this season, there's still some ways that you're still getting back to full speed and just used to having missed a whole season?
Yeah. I mean, I hope to get better each game. A little rusty the first game, and you get to the second game, and obviously this third game's a lot different. A lot different game plan, a lot different football, but definitely, I hope to definitely get better every week.
Are what you're seeing from North Carolina pretty similar to the Penn State offense, and do you feel like there's some lessons that you guys learned week 2 that can kind of apply this week?
Yeah, absolutely. They're a lot similar, a lot more similar than obviously Georgia Tech. But it's still, Penn State kind of runs a type of ACC offense that we're going to see. UNC, they have their differences obviously, but a lot more similar, to Penn State and Albany. And getting into this ACC play, we're going to see a lot more offenses like this.
No one in the country has more fumble recoveries so far than your defensive end, number 17. Is that a skill, recovering fumbles and getting to the ball the way Rashad does?
Yeah, I mean, he's always in the right place at the right time. And if you're always around the ball, it's going to be likely that you're going to be falling on top of it when it comes loose. So he's always around the ball.
Coach Narduzzi has kind of, he's been praising you all year, saying you're one of the best linebackers he's ever coached. He wasn't the guy that recruited you, so how have you two kind of come together over these years?
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited whenever I heard that Narduzzi was coming in. I wasn't really paying attention too much to who was going to be coming in, who Pitt was looking at. We were making the change. I remember my dad telling me, Narduzzi's coming in. He was this defense coordinator for Michigan State and linebacker coach, big defensive guy, which is huge, especially coming from Chris, who's obviously an offensive guy. And I like to think that I took advantage of that opportunity, Narduzzi coming in, and having your head coach being a former linebacker coach is really every linebacker's dream. So
I would say the offense's version of you so far through 3 games, a fifth-year guy who's off to a really good start, is Quadriolis. And how much have you guys just sort of sharpened each other by probably banging heads and hitting each other in practice for 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important just to compete in practice, especially in camp. When you're ones-on-ones every day and ones-on-twos. It's so important to compete to make the next person better. And you can take that to now when we're not really going against our offense too much, but backups and starters, it's not concrete, it's not written in stone. So just competing, and that's something that me and Quadri did to make each other better.
Is it confusing having 2 Qs around all the time? I feel like the whole team calls both of you guys that, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, we sit next to each other in some special teams meetings, and we'll call it Q. We both look it up. It was even more confusing last year with Quadri, and then our freshman year with Quintin Smith, so everyone called him Q too. So there's been quite a few Qs on the team.
Elias Reynolds got in a little bit against Georgia Tech. Pat was talking about Cam Bright. What are you seeing from those younger guys and being able to take some steps forward?
I've been really impressed with Elias. I mean, he's a tough dude. He loves to hit. He's my kind of football player, and he's smart. It's really nice to have him behind me. Just because he's always having that pressure in practice, making me know I gotta get better every day. Like I said before, no position is set in stone. No position is concrete. Just so I have him behind me, pushing me every day to get better and to be able to talk to him about schemes and what we're seeing. And if he's on the sideline, he's telling me what I can't see on the field, and vice versa. So it's really nice having those guys under us.
North Carolina's record against Pitt under this coaching staff, and even just since Pitt joined the ACC, really stands out. I assume you guys are aware of that as players. How much does that eat away at you in a game week leading up to playing them?
It eats. I mean, it does. It definitely gets at me. Never beating a team since we've played them. This would be my 5th matchup against them, and this senior class's 5th matchup. And I just remember 2 years ago we lost to them on that final drive. They had converted some like 6 4th down conversions, and it's like 17 play drive, something crazy like that. And I mean that was heartbreaking. Last year, it came down to the end too, and we're ready to get after them. I'll just say that.
Do you embrace the change preparing for this week, where this time last week you were going through triple option reads, and what we saw today, you guys were lined up dealing with multiple receiver sets, reads, guys coming off the line. Do you like that change from week to week, and what's the challenge like getting ready for them?
Yeah, I will say it's not an extremely easy change going from a conventional offense to Georgia Tech and then back to an offense that we're going to be seeing more of. But I mean that's just football. Each week you're going to have different matchups. They're going to give you different things, and you're going to have to make different adjustments each week throughout the week and even in the game. So that's just a part of it.
For you personally, like the need that this week you're probably going to have to drop into coverage a lot more than what you did last week. I mean, is that just something you have to get adjusted to during the week?
Yeah, I mean Georgia Tech runs the ball something like 80-85% of the time. So you're kind of always on your toes. But there'll be a lot of different reads this week and different assignments. So definitely for me, the preparation's a lot different.